Happy Halloween, everyone! So I would like to do a scary story for my Halloween special. Once upon a time, there was a young psychic. She had 2 children, a boy and a girl. And she lived with a monster. The monster wasn't under the bed. It wasn't in the closet. It wasn't even hidden in the shadows. The monster lived in the house with her. This monster was her husband. He terrorized her every day for hours. He made her believe that everything she thought she knew was wrong, even if everyone else knew it was true. He threatened his children, he threatened her, he threatened everything. Kept her shut away as much as possible. He removed her from life to die in solitude with him. But she was strong. And when she realized her children's lives were at risk, she left everything she knew and she ran away. She hid and she rebuilt her life. And the monster faded away. It took a long time. He kept trying to come back, but every time she prevailed. She stayed strong, she stood her ground, and she stayed independent. And his attempts to claw his way back into her life and to trap her back in that same prison failed miserably every time. And he finally stopped trying. He disappeared into nothingness, and he went away. But then one day, we realized he had died. The monster was dead, and all was right with the world. Or was it? That is when the hauntings began. Whispers in her ear, chuckles of laughter, the eerie feeling of being watched. He plagued this young psychic's every waking moment, doing everything he could to make it as though he really was still here. But he wasn't. He was dead. He was a ghost. He couldn't really do anything. He could only pretend. And yet he still tried. He still tried to bring back the fear and the pain as she had lived through before. Eventually the nightmares became too much. The young psychic, she could no longer stand it. But fortunately, she was not so young anymore. And her daughter was also psychic and not so young anymore. And she asked her daughter for help. Please, please, please. I can't stand it anymore. He's always there. Please make him go away. Help me. How can I make him go away? And the young daughter replied, I'm sorry, Mom. You're the only one that can make him go away. He's here because you let him be here. If you decide you no longer want him here, he will go, and he will never bother you again. The problem with this story is that it's actually true. My father died a little while ago. We don't know how, when, where. All we know is that he did die. We felt it. And then he started haunting us. He sent me nightmares. He sent her nightmares. I got sick of it real quick. I'd come up with this really cool idea. Permaban. Basically, all it is like squelching. You squelch somebody that you don't want to perceive anymore, and they can no longer bother you, pester you, send you images, or annoy you with nightmares or anything like that. They are simply gone from your experience. But unfortunately, I can't permaban somebody for another person. Or at least I couldn't this time. When I tried, although I no longer had to experience him, my mom continued to have problems. And I told her, I'm sorry, Mom, but you're going to have to do it. You have to make the choice. Otherwise, somehow there's a loophole he can jump through, and he comes back anyway. This monster was rather slick, though. He realized that even though he couldn't do anything directly, once we'd both permabanned him, he could get other people to do things. And then that got him around the permaban. It's sort of like getting a sock account. Except I figured out how to essentially block his IP address. Or rather, all IP addresses he could ever find. And I simply permabanned him and all his agents. It didn't matter who it was that he tried to go through. If they were on a mission for him, they were unable to enter the realm of our experience. And we were finally free. Most horror stories, they end in pain and terror. But a few of them have a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes all you have to do is stop looking for someone else to bring you a light. Sometimes you just have to shine your own. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I really like hearing your stories, and I respond to everything. So thank you very much for listening, and have a happy Halloween. Bye!